What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big Boy Talk. I'm here. Got one of my co-hosts that showed up to work on time, Mr. Jada Six. How you doing, sir?
Doing good, sir. Doing well. Made it to Friday. And one more week until the NFL draft.
Yes. The draft, one of the more exciting times of the year, especially during the off season, right?
But wait a minute.
Um,
Before the NFL draft, we got the WNBA draft. Did you
facts,
know about that?
facts. My girl Paige about to go number
Mm.
one. That's what I know about that. Paige about to go number one. Now, unfortunately,
I'm excited because
that
look,
number one
look,
spot
I'm excited
not held by my
because
son.
look, your son, look, your Connecticut son just man, it just meant hit that Kobe.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm excited though because Lucas is about to get drafted by the Dallas Wings, and look, I'm moving to Dallas soon, so it just meant to be, bro. It was just meant to be.
Oh, whatever. I say this after years of watching the Sun be in the playoffs and be contenders. I don't know personally why they decided, okay, it's time for a change. But then again, I do.
Change.
And that's exactly it. Change in general, right? Something the Baltimore Ravens refuse to do. Change in general.
Look, you changed the lock. You changed the locks on your house. You changed the PIN number. You know what I'm saying to your phone. What the Kinetic Suns did was complete obliteration.
Yes. So, I mean, sometimes you got to blow it up to start again. And there's other teams I wish would go out there and do the same thing, just blow it up and start again. Not saying the Ravens. I do not want them to blow it up and start again. I think they have a good foundation. But there's certain things they could definitely do to kind of rebuild and restart. But there's other teams, okay, that I like, who I will not mention, that kind of need to blow it up and restart. I'm not about to throw one of them, in one of the sports, the sport that's behind your head. I wouldn't say it's a complete blow up. I'd keep Paulo. There's a couple other guys, Paulo and Franz. Keep them. Everybody else, start from scratch.
You don't want to keep Jonathan Isaac?
You know what? Keep Isaac too. I like him.
I'm about to say
he's healthy. When he's healthy,
right,
he's a defensive weapon.
Literally one of the rarest I can guard 1 through 5.
Yeah, and he can shoot the three on occasion too. He's getting his shooting's getting better. So yeah, I like Isaac too. So I'll say that. The rest of the pieces I feel like are interchangeable. We need better guards. That's for sure. But so let's forget the sports, right? I got something for you that came across my desk that kind of, well, I got a few things for you. Absolutely blew my mind. So I'm gonna put you in a couple scenarios. Okay. You're dating a girl. Things going well.
Yeah.
Y'all eventually have a kid together.
Not there yet.
Kid grows up, probably a teenager now, in their teens. Y'all split up. She starts dating your dad. Her and your dad have a kid together. So now you and your daughter got a baby brother. So what do you make of that situation? Like, how do you, for me, I guess the question is, how do you end up there in the first place? And how much of a, I don't know. How much of a scumbag do you have to be to that woman, or how much of a scumbag is that woman for it to end up in this situation? Like, do you think maybe it started with the guy? And he, just pushed her to this point, or you think she's just for the streets? Like, we don't know them personally to know, you know.
All right. I put it like this. You know, maybe she wanted, like, say, in the situation, she wanted her cake and eat it too. You know what I'm saying? You okay, but then she saw how your dad moving, how much money, how much money, Social Security, little businesses here and there, he got. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, she wanted that lifestyle too. I don't know. It might be on some diabolical shit. And it turns out, all said and done, she might, say that, oh yeah, plus he's bigger than you or something. That's gonna repeat. That's gonna really set it off.
That's a problem.
Like, I don't know how anybody would come back from that. Like, I probably just, burn all bridges and just move to another city, country maybe, and just start all over. I don't know what to do afterwards. I'm not killing myself. That's not the question.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's kind of, it's awkward. How do you going forward? How do you possibly go to family events and things like that?
I'm not
Because
doing
it. Think about it. You're like, hey, this is my baby brother, which is my daughter's brother slash, I don't know, man. It's just weird. Like, think about it, now her grandfather is technically her stepfather if they were to get married. Right? Like, that's wild. That's wild. That's crazy work. That will make the brother her brother slash uncle?
In a way, yeah.
Her brunkle?
So all I know is I will pull an Anthony Edwards, and I'm like, hey, here's $1 million up front. I don't want to do this no more. Like, I can't do this.
Everybody can't pull that Anthony Edwards, man. But I tell you what, you can't make these situations up.
I'm not staying here and dealing with this shit, bro. I'm not doing it for my mental health. I'm not doing it.
That's crazy work. Like, imagine being a dude, right? And you're like, listen, here's child support for our daughter. I better not see you spending it on my brother.
Man, it is what
it is. That's wild.
Hey, bro, eat your family too. That's not in this situation. Oh man,
that's wild. Like, what do we have to do as a
people? On some like on some not Hank, not
No, you go ahead.
Oh, but I said on some King of the Hill shit where remember on King of the Hill where like not the situation entirely, but remember when Cotton decided to have like another baby and like Hank is already like what 40, 45 at that point. What do you do? And then the fucking Cotton dies, so now Hank has to help raise his younger brother. So he calls what Good Hank or Good something. I don't know.
It's a difficult situation, and I will say this: in the video, they seemed very positive about it. It's not like they was really talking about it. They kind of just had it written on the screen and was dancing, and it was just like, how much information? Like, is this real, or are you just putting this out on the internet to get views and clicks, type thing? The world we live in now is so vastly different from before internet, where you could just let everything be known to everyone, that it seems people are doing any and everything to get money. So this could be a ploy just to, get clicks, get views, or it could be real. In the case of if it is real, then what happened to loyalty and what happened to um, you know, these things in relationships where you're trying your hardest to make it work. I know I know it's tough because like I said, I've had my situations in the past, but not to a point where you mess with someone's sibling or parent in this case. What level of discourse do you have to have with someone, like what level of hatred? Because that's hatred to me. Like if you gotta hate somebody to say, yeah, now I'm gonna sleep with your mom or your daddy. You know what I'm saying? That's that's got to be pure hate in those situations, and it's just, I don't know. It's a different thing, man. Different breed. I understand relationships get hard because in a relationship, you look at a relationship now, right? And a lot of times, say just from our perspective, right? As a man, a woman wants you to be faithful, and you will do whatever you can to be faithful, remain faithful, turning down all the stuff that gets thrown at you. Avoiding all the flirting and the temptation. But sometimes you do all that, and then you don't necessarily get at home what they try. You know what I'm saying? The pennies ain't getting thrown at you at home the way they getting thrown at you on the street. So you like, hey, I need you to step your game up because I'm fighting for you. I'm essentially being punished for being good. And I see how some dudes can't handle that. Some dudes can't. Some dudes like, yo, nah, that ain't it, G. I can't do this no more. While other ones is like, what I got at home is too good to be, you know, wasting time in the streets. And I can see it happening both ways, but one way is better than the other. And for me, that's the staying at home way because the stress that comes with them streets, crazy, crazy work. The streets ain't meant to be
Because
dabbled.
right, because I mean now like more than ever for what I be saying, like I mean of course fake pregnancy has always been a thing. Forge, the signature on the baby's birth certificate. And then you gotta go through the fucking judge saying, I didn't sign this. Well, is your name such and such? Yes, but that's not my signature. So now you gotta prove that you did sign it. Because obviously the hospital ain't gonna help out, in regards to that. Then DNA test as a recommended at all time. What else? Oh yeah, some girls have the audacity, or some my bad in this situation, some side chicks have the audacity to get up in the main girl's face saying, "Oh, he's over there. Oh, he's doing X, Y, Z," like just flat out. It's just snitching. Pretty much, just flat out like just like what happened to the like there is no more like like main side chick or side nigga, agreement. Like there's no rules in that anymore. They're just nah. I
No,
feel like I could
no.
be the main. Fuck it, I ain't gonna be the side. Move over. I'm about to spill all the beans right now. Yeah, he been over here. Now every other night when he said he was at the gym, you know what I'm saying? That's when he's been with me. By the way, we got a child on the way, so I don't know what we are gonna do, but I'm keeping this baby, and then you'll leave that man literally just out to dry, literally just to figure all out, pick up pieces.
Yeah,
Otherwise, probably the wife, the man gonna leave him. You know what I'm saying? And he gonna try to do right. Meanwhile, you got another side nigga, and then the premium you see on going, the cycle continues, bro. It
hmm
just don't end.
yeah. It's just that there's no other way to it than to just You kind of got, especially past a certain age, just straighten your ways out and kind of, you know, come to terms with either, hey, I need to be single until I find the one, or hey, I found the one. I'm gonna do my best to keep this one. Temptation isn't worth the trouble that comes with it. You know what I'm saying? Now, when we talk about, I brought up, how today's internet people do anything for money. I don't know if you've heard or if you've seen it, where the Island Boys, right? One of them came
Right.
out and said recently that they had like an OnlyFans page set up for the both of them, and they were paid 14 million total. One got 8 and one got 6. I don't know which one got what, to basically make out. So he was tonguing down his brother. Now he emphasized that he was just coming off of a drug problem
Mhm.
and all this, so he saw money and that's all he cared about. But he's like, on the same hand, it's my brother. We grew up together. Blase blase, all that excuses. But when did we come to a point in, like, he was like, I like money. I love money. I'm gonna do anything for money. When did we come to a point where money has that much power that I'm doing anything for it? Because I remember a time where, yes, people love money, but there was a limit. You know what I'm saying? There was a limit. There was a now I got too much pride for that. There was a I can't do that. It's against my morals. Now it seems like pride and morals have kind of gone out the window, and no one cares anymore. What are your thoughts towards that? And when was that, like, when did we get to that point that it just bye bye?
I'm not sure when we got to the point. I guess it always been. What's good, Jared? But it's always been there. I guess in this day and age is becoming more normalized. Like people, like people always did. Um, sorry, people always did whatever for money. Like, but I think like back when we was growing up, at least we had game shows like The Price is Right, Fear Factor. You know, that's the same. His brother ain't. Yeah, crazy cat,
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Welcome in, by the way. But yeah, at least back then we had like Price is Right game show. We still got Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy. Now people got money like that. Like what is these? American Ninja. People got
Yep.
money like extra money that way. But now, this openness of OnlyFans and like you said, people doing whatever for money just it's normalized. Like you said, like that. I can imagine doing that with my brother. Like me and my brother are 4 years apart. Yeah, we grew up for majority. I just can't do it. Like that's where I'm like, yeah, all right. Like, can I use a couple more thousand, 2,000? Sure, but that's to the point of like embarrassing my family name, my image. Like for me, I know like, we
Can't
both
do
have kids, so I'll be damned. I'll be damned if they
it.
see me
Tell me about
go
it.
out like that. Like,
Yeah, tell me about it, man. I mean, like I said,
I just won't do
same here. I have a brother too. Me and my brother we're 8 years apart, and it's just I could never see us saying, "Hey, man, it's 14 million. It's 14 million." Why not? No, neither one of us. Nah, it just wouldn't happen. Like, it's not
right.
even something
Like
you would think about.
what I'm thinking about is like the old like the grand OGs. What if like saying like if my grandfather, you know what I'm saying, or their grandfather, I don't know their family situation, but like think about them. Think about all they sacrificed just to end up like with this. I know if that ain't ever happened in my, you know what I'm saying, in my grandfather's household, we're probably banned. Like
Yeah,
we're banned. Like we're dead
yeah,
to
no,
him.
no,
We're out the
yeah,
will. Everything.
Yeah, I agree 100%, man. It's just life is just different. This new, and I got another story for you where you'll see this new breed of I want to say characters, right? I'm not even going to say new breed of people. This new breed of characters coming up is just entirely different. But Kay says because it's easier to get money online now, it's it's more ways to get it, and people like the fast money. Yes, they like that fast money, and they like that lifestyle, and they latch on to it, right? But there's better ways than that. Like that's worse to me. That's worse than you know the females basically selling their body online. I OnlyFans is the term. I call it online prostitution. That's just me. But there's I look down on that less than this. This to me is like the ultimate. You done crossed the line 10 times over. You know what I mean? Um, and it's not even about the fact that I get that people are openly gay and there's all these things in the world, right? It's more the factor of it's your brother. That's your blood. You know what I mean? Y'all gonna see each other for the rest of life. It's one thing if somebody said to him and he was willing to take it, hey, 14 million, you kissed this strange man that you've never seen before and we'll never see again. And that's that. And he says okay to that, I'm still gonna look down on it. But I'm like, that's a stranger. You ain't never gonna see them again. Whatever, your life is your life. Your brother, like a full blown makeout session with your own blood, is repulsive, right? Yeah, like it's not something I can see as yeah, it's not that's not good. It's not good. I don't like it. I don't like it. Pineapples. I don't like
Yeah, and for me, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. No OnlyFans, like, I kind of see it both ways. Like, you know, some people honestly have tried, to get it, blue collar, body American way, saying say what legal, the right way, saying morally, but that just don't work. Like, what if you honestly try? Like some people are it's hard for to find jobs in some areas, in some demographics. Now, like, what are you gonna do? You're not just gonna sit. Well, some people are not just gonna sit there and just be like, "Oh, what was me?" No, and be like, "Well, you know what? I'm just gonna let the light look, cut the light off, boom." I know, like, you got families, like you got kids, probably got kids, family to feed and stuff. And so guess what? People start sending like feed pics. You know what I'm saying? If they have an attractive enough body, attractive enough pants or whatever, because like it is what it is. Well,
yeah,
I don't know
to
their story.
Jared's point,
I don't know these people personally.
yeah, no, you're right. And to Jared's point here, normally, as you know, Jared, you frequent this show. This isn't something we really highlight. That's why it's just a part of the show here. But here we talk about everything, and this is something that bothered me, so I had to get it out and say, what was on my mind. But we wouldn't be talking about it if we
I say,
weren't
Jerry,
already on the conversation of how wild things are in the world today. That's why I titled this "What in the World is Going On?" Because there's so many different things that I'm bringing up here tonight that are just blasphemous in my mind. That like our first subject we talked about, that we just don't. We're seeing the world in a different light, so we talk about it so that we can exercise our thoughts on what is going on and why we think it's going on. One of the other things, just to tie this in, talk about sexuality and being straight out with things, hiding things. There's a, a, a thing where I saw another video. You're, you're absolutely right. You're right. I agree. Seen another video. gentleman was with a trans female, and when they're doing this interview, she says she only dates straight men, and he says he only dates women. But this is a woman with the same tool or package he has. But he's like, well, look at her. Look how beautiful she is, this and that. Now, in these cases, do you think it's a thing of mentally trying to tell yourself, 'cause he doesn't identify as gay. He identifies as a straight male. But he is sword fighting in the bedroom. Do you think it's is that a real thing? Or is it just, hey, cut it out, accept it. You are what you are. Just, like you are what you are, accept it. No one cares. We're not in a world where everybody's going to shame you for it. Times are different. Go ahead and be free while you can be free.
Sort of. Right. Before President Trump pulls a tariff on that, I'll do it. But yeah, I would just I would like for people to I mean, it's not easy for some, to look in the mirror or just be like, oh, okay, I am this way. I do like this, and by definition, this. Like I said, I never have a problem with it. Like if you're gay, like whatever. Been around, gay people, for my entire life. Always been cool with them. But for me, yeah, I never really had a problem with people who really didn't accept themselves. It's just when they start to get frustrated, it starts to pour out on your friends or on your family, all because you just won't accept it. But they accept you, but you want to accept yourself. That's where I have a problem with that. Like, what are you ashamed for? Like, if you like, if you're a man that likes other men, or in this case, trans women, who cares? Are you gonna lose a paycheck? Where you work? If you're real friends, are you real friends? They're gonna accept you for who you are. And especially in the world like this, is where like you said, like online generation has made everything open. Okay, hell, like they made it okay where if you didn't gay people, you're gonna get canceled regardless, like shadow ban regardless. So what is, if you are gay, what are you scared of? Now, if this was the 1950s, probably, yeah, I'll be scared shitless.
Yes. yeah, no. I agree. If it was the 50s, 60s, I mean anywhere up until like the 80s, right? 80s, 90s, you'd be scared crapless. But it's one of those things where now you can be free to be whoever you are, and I don't understand why people still think unless of course it's peer pressure from their family, like you said, things like that. Yes, I agree. It's so for me, right? I don't see. I've come across a lot of different people in my time, and the way they do things. What I haven't come across, and I hope to never come across, is these YNs that's running the street now. So a clip came by me. These YNs ran up on their ops, and all of these subjects we're talking about tonight all kind of intertwined, right? So they ran up on the ops, bro. They caught them slipping, caught the ops slipping. Okay, mind you, these YNs these days, 13, 15, young. Ran up on the ops, made these two young black men get down on their knees. They, cut part of their hair off, cut part of one of their braids off with a knife, cut the other one part of his hair off with the knife. Made these two young men kiss each other. While streaming it or recording it, right? And they're laughing and giggling in the background. When did being a thug or being, in the streets, being a hood dude and being, what I'm saying? When did having that mold turn into this? Because when I remember running the streets back in the day. I remember thugs. I remember gangsters. I remember being on the corners. I remember you couldn't wear certain colors. I remember all of that, right? But there was code. There was things you did and didn't do. If you ran up on your ops back then, you was probably catching a body, yes, or somebody was catching a beat down. But what wasn't happening was you might even tell the nigga to strip butt. Excuse my language. You might even tell him to strip butt naked and walk home naked. But what wasn't going to happen was you making them make out while you laugh and giggle. It's not what the streets was about back then. Right? I mean, I see YNs and they're just doing, it's so reckless and it's it hurts because we're in the process of trying to change the world and make things better for them in the future. But it's like, you clearly don't want that. You don't care for that. You've chosen your path and you're sticking to it, apparently. Why? Jared, I don't know if I could have said it any better myself. It's prison culture bleeding into the streets, which has been getting worse each generation. Yes. I don't know if I could have said it any better myself. It's a culture which is crazy because it was never a culture before. But now you got all the old heads getting out of prison and they've been through some things while locked up. They've done some things while locked up, and they come back and they put that into the streets. And they take these young boys and they nurture them this way. And then they touch on them and then they treat them certain ways, and this is how they turn out. It's not what we're doing. And the worst part is it's us doing it to our own culture. It's us doing it to our own people. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, even when you got the successful people of our skin color, the successful people of our colors hating on the other successful people of our color. We're the only nationality where we hold each other back constantly. We don't want each other to advance for some reason. Everybody else sticks together. But us, nah, if I can't do it, you can't do it. When the process should be, hey man, if you can do it, bring me with you. And then we're gonna bring everybody with us. Kind of like we doing this YouTube thing. We trying to, as a unit, as a family, all of us are trying to boost each other up. But it's not like that everywhere. Everywhere else seems to only care about tearing each other down. And when I seen this video, it hurt me to the core because yes, people are making jokes about it. They're like, what kind of, they're making jokes about it and all that, having their hee-hees, ha-has, but it's hurtful to think that we're still making enjoyment in life out of tearing each other down and making each other look bad. I just don't. And Jared actually spoke to something of this nature on his channel, Southern Baller Show, just this past Sunday, when he talked about the comparison of the treatment Vince McMahon's gotten versus the treatment P. Diddy's getting. P. Diddy's being drugged through the streets by all his own people and all this other stuff. Meanwhile, Vince McMahon has crept back into his position at WWE without anybody saying a word. He's back on the board, and nobody's dragging him through the mud. None of his people have been loyal to him through the whole thing. Meanwhile, if one of our people does something, oh, we on them. Like white on rice, we on them. We dragging them through the mud, tearing them apart. So I agree 100% in the aspect of we need to find a way to stick together and build our culture. And I brought this whole thing up to ask you, what do we have to do? What example or who does it have to come from to kind of start the rebuilding of a brotherhood of a nation standing together?
As far as whom, I'm trying to gather my thoughts before I say this. I'm not gonna say that us as a culture, as a African American society. I'm not. I want to say in some generation, I don't think it's gonna be this one or in the future anytime soon, where we can be saved, where we can unite. Um, I don't know what has us. I'm not really that intellectual to say like what has us so like divided. Why can't like you said? Why can't we ban like the Asian culture, or Latinos, Hispanic culture? Hey man, let's stay in the small house, build up, bring money in, or send money back home, and come up. And I'm not saying like that's not everybody's household because I've been a part and I've seen where band together. Hey, you chip in $5, you chip in $3, you chip in $4, and let's get this buffet or whatever, or let's get this this meal going and go from there. But as far as the bigger picture, I don't really see who can we turn to really get that started. Um, to be honest, because of course, the people in power or had to have some power. Michael Jordan, LeBron James, in some cases, Oprah Winfrey. I don't know. I think we're on see like two divided. I don't think there's like not one person that's going to save it. It's really going to take a picture into everybody. But I don't know what that one thing is going to be. So that's the thing about it is sadly it's sad to say that really no I know you know the term all skin folk and kin folk, and I don't know if that's gonna have to stop soon.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Like
It's
it's like I want
it's
to.
so hard to
Right.
go ahead.
Like I'm saying, like I want us like, everybody like to band together, help one another instead of being a crab in the bucket, the mentality. But like, I don't know. Like whenever like somebody get Gucci or Prada, the nose goes instantly up, and they forget to reach to reach back. I don't know. For me, I can't really speak on what is it going to take. You got guys like Stephen A. Smith, selling selling out, saying for for his money, and I guarantee, and hey man, get it how you live. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
get it how you live. Now I don't know his situation with his family. I'm just saying I couldn't do it. I couldn't
yeah,
do it. Going on live there, blatantly lie. Speak bad on another. I say how he's been doing LeBron James lately. Like that as a father clip. I'm like, what you mean as a father? I mean, if I'm LeBron James, I'm doing everything I can to put my son in this position to succeed. I'm saying now like Bronny, I'm saying he can't get traded, within his contract. I'm like, okay, and then people have a problem with it. I'm like, all right, if y'all were true parents, y'all would do literally everything that y'all have in your well being. Make sure that your son, your daughter, your nephew, your nephews, cousins, kids, you know what I'm saying? Have an
yeah,
easy ride.
yeah. I want to bring my boy Jared up to the stage. Brother's deep brother, by the way. Great content. And I'm sure he's got some powerful words for us here. Jared,
Carolina.
welcome to the show, brother. I think he needs a minute. All right, well, you let me know when you all set. But it's a deep situation. I'm kind of afraid for the future because we don't know, like, who do we have to lead us into that future? Because some of our greatest leaders are kind of getting older. You think of the LeBrons because LeBron, what he does on the court matches what he does off the court because he went back, he put all those kids through college in his hometown. He's doing stuff for the community. You got a lot of guys that were big on doing things for the community that were obviously taken away from us. You think of Nipsey, and I could see Lamar Jackson being one of those leaders. If his voice can stretch far enough. But there seems to be so much media hate on a guy like Lamar that you can't even use his voice to do what it needs to do. Jared, welcome in, brother.
What's good, man?
So let me get your thoughts on what we're talking about here, and where do you think we need to start to kind of rebuild the culture, rebuild a joint community.
Well, first thing we have to just keep in mind, man, everybody's not gonna make it. I know we won't. We got certain people that we love, but even if your blood or your best friend or whatever, if their mind is not set into trying to put into their community and they're stuck on ignorance and hurting the community, they're not gonna make it, man. So the best thing to do is just start with the youth, knowing their history. And I'm not just talking about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Well, Martin Luther King is safe, but going into detail as far as Malcolm X, and I'm not talking about like when I mean by Martin Luther King is safe. Talk about what got Martin Luther King killed. Explain that to the youth. You know what I mean? Things like that, man. It's just educating, and you hear this saying all the time: if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it, and that is so true. That is so true, and we're seeing it. We seeing it now. It's scary. A lot of black folk are doing what their ancestors did. Like they may have did it a different way. They may not have all this modern amenities nowadays, but a lot of them are doing what their ancestors did and don't know
it. Yeah.
As far as ignorance.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, man, but I think we just need to start with the youth. We need to push to black folk that's been in the communities when it's not popular, black men and women that are not famous. We need to push them to the forefront. And that's the thing. We need to stop worrying about looking for that Martin Luther King or Medgar Evers. Everybody, every old head, as we call them, that has knowledge to help the community, just needs to continue to work together and just, like I said, just work on the youngins who wants to sit down and listen. That's the best you can do. That's the best you can do, because if you try to save everyone, you're gonna get your heart broke.
Absolutely. One of the things I've seen, and I was gonna come to this to finish up the show. The last thing I was gonna bring up, because I don't want to end on a negative note, one of the things I've seen that came across my desk also was probably one of the more touching things I've seen in a lifetime. And then it was two young men, two African American young men, standing on the corner. They were about to fight. They were fighting, tussling. And they were about to get into boxing. And this one brother comes running from up the street, still probably just a little bit older than them, and he starts yelling at him to stop fighting. I mean, he's probably about 10, 15 years older than him. And he yells at him to stop fighting. He breaks the fight up. He said, "Look at y'all." He said, "You see what's going on around y'all?" He said, "Look at them. They laughing at y'all. They're not friends with any of y'all. They're not your real friend because they wouldn't have you out here in these streets fighting." He said, "I bet y'all don't even know what y'all's fighting for."
I seen that video.
You seen the video, and he broke it down to both of them. And at the end, he made them dudes shake hands, and it says they're still friends to this day. Those two dudes that were about to fight each other over nothing. It's literally to a point where, and that touched my soul because that's all it takes is one person in the community to stand up. And if you could get more like that, do you know how powerful that can be?
Because but here's the thing, and just want to interject, man, because it's one thing. Because you cannot underestimate, as far as trying to answer your question, or adding to your question, or answering your question regarding building back the Black community. You cannot underestimate the power of what they call white supremacy, or the westernized racist system. You can't. A lot of Black folks still have the old kumbaya, you know what I mean? And it's affecting other races, you know what I mean, that are dark skinned, you know what I mean? Like India, they still have like a colorism thing going on. If you dark skinned Mexican, or you too light, like Canelo Alvarez, like a lot of Mexicans don't like him because they consider him not a real Mexican. You know what I mean? Because he's too light.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So stuff like that. So, but the thing with them, they know how to stick together. So they know how to overshadow that. You know what I mean? Even though it's prevalent in their community as well. Our problem is, I'm going to say it, we were trained not to stick together.
Yeah.
We were trained not to stick together. And if you know your history, you know what I'm talking about. And it's up to us, not the white man, not the white woman, nobody else. It's up to us to unshackle the mental slavery that we have been under for generations. Even though we don't have the physical chains, a lot of us still have the mental change. A lot of us don't even know. We got Jordans on and looking fresh. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Looking good, but still mentally is a slave, and a lot of us don't know.
Yeah. It's the little things that have transferred down from history, through each timeline, through each part of your genes. And I think one of the other things that hold us back is the whole concentration on, if like, perfect example, I was talking to a coworker and I was just explaining to him, how you can tell the difference when you're talking to someone, especially when you're talking to a Black person, that you can tell the difference in, their comfortability with racism, and if they come from a family that's passed down that hatred through them. Because I go, you could walk down the street, and I was like, I'm not even kidding you. You could walk down the street, say as a Caucasian person, you could walk through the hood, and you'll see certain people, and you say the N word with the A at the end, not the ER, with the A at the end, and some of them will laugh at you, right? But then you'll see the other ones who have that hate built in them too. That's been passed down through the generations that know that word shouldn't be touched. That word shouldn't be touched realistically by any of us. Even me. You see, I slipped up and said it earlier. It's something that shouldn't be touched by any of us. You'll see those and they react. But what people don't understand is they do it for the reaction. Which is why when I say you see the ones that they laugh at you, those are the ones that say, you go ahead and be ignorant on your own. I'm going to laugh at you because I think you're ignorant. I'm not laughing at you because I think you're funny. I'm laughing at you because I think you're ignorant. But when you get the ones that react, that's what they want. They want a reaction from you. Good, bad, whatever, right? They want a reaction from you. When you get the ones that react, that's that part of the generation where we're being held back in an old mentality. Because we're not able to look and see what the world is trying to paint us in. They're trying to paint us in a box, right? So if we continuously see that mentality and we see that hatred, that's what's constantly going to be in front of us. So we see that person say the N-word, whether it be ER or A, they react and they're stuck. That's the change Jerry's talking about. You're stuck in that mentality and it's never going to change, right? But if you're able to laugh at it and say, well, you go ahead and you get stuck saying what you want to say and making your jokes, I'm going to continue to stack this money and build my family up from where they were to where they will be. That's the person breaking the chains. And what I see, that's why I love what I see with us and all our YouTube channels. I see a bunch of brothers out here looking to break the chains, right? And bring as many good people up with them as possible. These are all the people that's not held back by the chains of things dictating their future and the way they act. We're a bunch of people that's ready to move on and show y'all what we have to offer.
Right. And I ain't gonna lie, the Southern in me like, man, anybody call me N-word, I'm gonna get at them. But to your point, like you were saying, there are some people that are racist that are trying to get you off your game. They know we got to hate for that word. And it's funny when when just be real, white people say, oh, they use the word. I don't give a damn. The point is, it don't matter if we use the word. We ain't say the N word and hang a bunch of white people. Don't even try that. But the point is, we cannot allow people to manipulate us like that. So I've been in situations where dealing with racist cops and they're using the word trying to basically get me to do something, act emotional, and I did. So to your point, I agree. I agree. We have to be stronger than that. Me personally, I believe we can use that word whenever if you're not gonna get it for like Patrice O'Neal said, at least we can have if you're not gonna give us no money for reparations, we need to at least have language. That's just me personally. I don't. No, I'm just saying, no white people person can't tell me or anybody else who supports this westernized racism that I can't use that word or whatever. As long as I'm not hurting that other black folk with it, you can't tell me nothing. But we can't, at the same time, we can't use it. We can't allow it to hurt us when no folks try to use it against us.
Exactly. Somebody once told me, one of my friends I used to work with once told me that word down stands for never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. And he's like,
I
I
like
want
that.
you to remember that every time you hear it, you remember that's why we say it, because we're reminding each other that we're never ignorant and all we're doing is getting goals accomplished. So on that note, Jared, brother, thank you so much for coming through. While I got you here, go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you.
Man, thank you for allowing me to hop on, man. You were cooking, so I especially talking about a topic up my alley, so I had to jump on, brother. But yeah, you can. I'm gonna try to have a show today. Excuse me, tomorrow morning. Um, if the brothers are up to it, either the black man's perspective, or we're just gonna do another installment of the Southern Baller Show regarding sports. And then everyone knows who's been watching my channel, have every Sunday around 3:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, Southern Baller Show. We talk about sports. I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan, but I try not to saturate the show with Baltimore Ravens talk. But it is what it is. But yeah, come check a brother out. Appreciate y'all. Oh, also come
Anytime,
support
anytime.
not only Big Reg, he's an up and coming YouTube channel. Please support his brother, him and Jada6 and Brandon 86 Ghosts, and my brother Coach 67 Sports TV. Please support his channel.
Absolutely, I love Coach
And Brent,
too.
yeah, Mr. Southern alum, and then I'm sorry, y'all, I just don't want to forget nobody. Brother Brent Fox, and then Hendo. All them brothers, man, support them.
Yeah, a bunch of great content creators, all again going in the right direction, man. Going up and bringing each other with them. Man, I absolutely love it, Mr. Jada6. I think I already know what you're gonna say, but go ahead and say it anyway, sir.
It's a catchphrase at this point. But J6 on everything I do, YouTube, Twitch, getting better on TikTok. Still don't know if I should go the Blue Sky route, but I'm working on a new. It's not a video, a new short. No, for laughs or for giggles. Not a series, but it does include no boy, no big ratio. Yeah, but look for look for that to drop either Saturday or Sunday, depending on if I get finished with my errands and fatherly duties tomorrow. So yeah, look for me in those areas. And I always will be on the Big Chris Show Thursday or Friday whenever he has it, or wherever anybody will have me.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Listen, I can't say it enough. I appreciate you, fellas. I appreciate everybody in our YouTube community, everybody that stops in to watch. All my subs. We're growing, and this channel isn't even for me. It's not even about growing. It's about having a voice and just being able to put my opinion and my thoughts out there, and being able to kind of help the world grow together. Any little way that I can, and also bring a little laughter whenever I can. I get on here. Sometimes I get absolutely silly. I mean, y'all see me with my belt last week. I had my championship last week. Don't worry, it's coming back. Especially since my Huskies, my lady Huskies, went and won the chip. So the belt is coming back. You know what I'm saying? That was storytelling right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you try to tell us.
I tried. Listen, I tried to
He
tell
did.
y'all the Huskies was on it. But it will be back next year too, led by Sarah Strong. I'm just telling y'all now.
Very
But
much.
again, thank you, brothers. Everybody, y'all know y'all find me right here, same spot, same time every week. Your boy Big Reg will be in the building. All right. I love y'all. Everybody, stay blessed. Peace.